Logistics KPI Dashboard. As Peter Drucker said, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. In this video, I'll explain how our Logistics KPI Dashboard works and how it can help you improve your logistics performance. So in its simplistic form, the typical logistics operation have 5 main activities that can be divided into several sub-activities. The 5 main activities are receiving, that involve the assignment of trucks to docks; storing, meaning material movement from the unloading area to its designated place in inventory; order picking, the process of obtaining the right amount of the right product for a set of customers. Number 4 is shipping, which involves the execution of packing and trucking load after picking, involving also the assignment of trucks to docks. Number 5 is delivery, that is transit time for transportation from warehouse to customer. For more details, you can see my blog 5 warehouse activities you should focus to improve. Link is in the description of this video. To measure the performance of your logistics operation, we have developed a list of 47 logistics KPIs that you can use to select the most relevant logistics KPIs for your business. Furthermore, we have created a logistics KPI dashboard showing 25 KPIs, which are the most frequently used logistics KPIs in the manufacturing and distribution industry. You can download both Excel files in the link below, which directs you to SCMDOJO Academy, and you will find them under best practices tabs. The Logistics KPIs dashboard we have developed shows you KPIs under 6 main areas of performance management. The first is time, second is quality, third is cost, fourth is productivity, fifth is safety, lastly but not least are culture related KPIs. The goal here is to turn logistics data into information insight, so you know the gaps versus targets, what areas of logistics you need to improve, and you should know where you are going. In the next part of the video, our colleague will explain how the dashboard can be amended or customized to your business requirement. Thanks for listening.
Hello guys, welcome to this tutorial for the Logistics KPI Dashboard. In this guide, we are going to cover on how to interact with this file effectively. First of all, the first worksheet I'm going to talk about is Home. Home page shows all the worksheets within the file with hyperlinks which link us directly to that specific worksheet. There are a total of 10 worksheets being shown in home page, such as actual, targets, and 6 dashboard worksheets, and then measures, and last one is user guide. For example, if we click on the actual photo or wording, it will link us to the actual worksheet, and for each worksheet there is a home icon which allows us to link back to the home page when we click on it, which is this. And again, if we click on, let's say, cost indicators, the photo or wording, it will link us to the cost indicators worksheet as well. Next, I'm going to talk about the user guide worksheet. This worksheet gives us the clear instructions on how and what should we do to interact with this file. Alright. In this user guide worksheet, there are a couple of steps written here for us to refer to what and how to do, like I mentioned just now. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and the last step. Besides that, there is a worksheet named Measures. Measures worksheet provides us the details of the performance attributes which we are going to use. As we can see from here, the first column is the performance attributes. Second column is a measure with the units of measure in third column, a detailed description in the fourth column, as well as the formula guide in the last column for us to know how to compute the measures. While in column J, this is a very vital column for us to input the number in sequence for the measures that we are going to use. For example, we can label 1 for the order to delivery lead time, and then 2 for the order picking time, and onwards until all the measures are being included. Depends on what we want to use. In this case, we are going to use the 25 measures for the visualization's purpose. But as we can see from the column E or column F, actually there are total of 47 measures, and yep, we are going to pick only 25 out of them. Again, this is a crucial worksheet which makes sure we are 100% aligned with the measures that we want to measure. Now let's go back to the home page and click on the targets. Targets worksheet is where we set up the targets, and this will be visible in the charts. For each measure, we have to set up the targets per month, depending on the units of measure, for example, by days, order per hour, percentage, currency, etc. What we need to do is to change the numbers, and the numbers will be reflected in the charts which I'm going to show later. So we are going to change from column E until column P, which is within the period from January until December. Alright, that's about the targets worksheet. Now let's get back to the home page again and click on the actual. For actual worksheet, it is where we input the actual results. For each measure, we have to set up the actual results per month for each year. So as we can see, from column E to column P is showing 2018, while column Q until column AB is showing 2019. Up to 2024, then we can also change the year from 2018 to the year that we want as well. For example, I'm going to change this 2018 to 2020. The following year will be ranged from 2020 to 2026. Alright, now let's change back to 2018. After we finish setting up the actual and targets, we can go to the dashboard worksheets. There are a total of 6 dashboard worksheets. I'm going to show the cost indicators. Alright, in cost indicators worksheet, you can see the measure title at here. Besides, in each of the dashboard worksheets, there are a total of 3 dynamic selections for us to select the year, select the year to compare, and also select the month for year to date. The options of the year depends on the years that we have in actual worksheet. Like just now, I tried to change from 2018 to 2020, and let's get back to the cost indicators. Here we'll be showing from 2020 up until 2026. So let's get back to the actual, and I'm going to change back to 2018. As we can see from the last bar, the year to date is being shown. When we change the month, it will calculate the average of that period. For example, I've already changed to September. Then it will calculate the average from January up to September. And also, each measure of the performance attributes are visualized in different charts, like warehouse cost performance. Second one is order processing costs. Third one is out of stock costs. And the following is labor costs and warehouse maintenance costs. And the last one is 3PL supplier spend. And for each worksheet, there are additional charts being shown at the bottom part in case you want to make some amendments toward this file if you have more than 5 or 6 measures. So these are the additional preset templates. Okay, to emphasize again, each dashboard worksheet is a dashboard for different group of measures. As I go through the time indicators, it's all about time indicators, performance attributes, productivity indicators, quality indicators, safety attributes, and the last one, cultural KPIs. Now, we are going to talk about changing the measures. In this file, we can make adjustments to the measure, such as changing the name, deleting the measure, or even add a new measure in the last row. So I'm going to talk about the first one, about changing the name. For example, if we change the name to new name, and the column J will remain the same number in sequence, as we only changing the name of the measure. Now, since I've made changes to the name, we must make sure that in the actual worksheet, the measure name is being automatically reflected as well. While for targets worksheet, it is the same. Alright. Next one, about deleting the measures. Let's say I'm going to delete the second measure, which is order picking time. I'll highlight the whole row and delete. Now, we notice that in column J, the number is not in sequence anymore. As I mentioned, this is very important that we have the correct number in sequence in order for those visuals as well as actual and targets worksheets to work well. Now I'm going to replace the number in sequence. Number 3 will be number 2. Number 4 will be number 3. And there is a quick way in doing so. I'm going to apply this formula by -1. So I'm going to drag down the formula, copy, and paste as value, and deleting the formulas. There it is. The total measures that we are going to apply is 24 instead of 25. Now, let's check on the actual worksheet. Please remember that after we deleting a measure, there will be an additional row at the last measure. So please bear in mind that we can't directly remove the last row because just now that measure we deleted is actually on the second sequence, which is this column E with row 7. What we're going to do now is to remove this row. I'm going to shift the cells up. Alright, so now all the actual results will be shown respectively to each measure. As we can see, the 50 value is no longer at the row 30. Alright, now let's check on the targets worksheet as well. Again, there will be an additional row at the last KPI. I'm going to delete this row by shifting the cells up. And there it is. Alright, that's all about deleting the measures, and we must remember to change the actual and targets worksheet. Now let's check on the time indicators dashboard. From here, we no longer see that time indicators has 3 measures because we already deleted 1. So they will be showing 2 instead of 3. Now, let's say the put away time in this chart is showing in percentage format. What we are going to do is press this plus icons by expanding the cells, the columns. Let's say originally after we deleting the measure and make some amendment towards actual and targets worksheet, right? And this is showing percentage. So the chart over here will be showing percentage as well. However, our put away time is in order per pallet, which means we are going to use number or general format. Remember to change this one because it is not in percentage. In opposite way, if the unit of measure is percentage, then our column S to column AE must be in percentage. Alright, let's undo this. Okay. Right, that's all about deleting the measure. Alright, now we are going to talk about the last thing, which is adding the new measures. At the last row, I'm just going to copy the previous by dragging down previous row. I'm going to key in the performance attribute, which is time indicators, and the new measure will be new measure. I'm retaining the unit of measure as number. Descriptions, I'm not going to write it, and it is best for you guys to write it as well as the formula guide. And here's come the tricky part. As I mentioned, this column J is very important in this whole file. Here we need to fill in this cell, column J, row 49. It's not by 25 because time indicators is already shown in the first performance attributes. And now we must label the measure by number in sequence for each group of the performance attribute. So in this case, I'm going to label as 3. Then the following sequence must be adjusted as well. I'm going to use the formula by +1. Dragging down the formula, copy and paste as value, and deleting the formulas. Now, the total measures that we are going to use is 25. And again, we must perform the check on actual as well as the targets worksheet. As I mentioned just now, from the measures worksheet, the new measure is parked under time indicators performance attributes. Now we are going to find where is the new measure. That's here, row 8. We are going to move the row 8 actual results input downward. Then we can double check. Yeah, here it is. The cultural KPIs is now having the actual results input. And now what we are going to do is to key in the new measure actual results. In this case, I'm going to key in 20 for 2018 and then 10 for 2019. Next one is about targets worksheet. The same process must be executed as well. I'm going to move the new measure row downwards and double check. Yep, the last cultural KPIs is now having the targets input. I'm going to key in the target as 15 from Jan until December. Alright, after making amendment to actual and targets worksheets, we are going to check on the dashboard worksheet, which is time indicators. From here, previously it was new name, put away time, and now there is new measure. And bear in mind, if the format is not according to the unit of measure, please expand by toggling the plus icons and manually change the format over here. I think that's about it. Thanks for watching the tutorial.
Hopefully you like the dashboard. Do leave your feedback or a suggestion to help us to improve further. Thank you.